Some thoughts on actors and acting. The only way to become an actor worth your salt is by doing the work and being ready for that work. That's what makes an actor, and it's a commitment you either feel deep down or you don't have at all. If you're only here because you want to say that you've studied where people like Robert Duvall and Diane Keaton trained, you're already starting on the wrong foot. Both of them worked harder than you can imagine, harder than a lot of people you see today. And they brought real talent to match it. But don't misunderstand, talent isn't just some magical quality. It's something you have to give life to. Talent only takes you so far. It's the work you put in that transforms it into something worth watching. Acting isn't about just showing up, reciting lines, and hoping people will think you're talented. Acting demands that you let go of your head and connect with your gut, that you respond in the moment with what feels truthful. If you come at it only with intellectual decisions, like thinking, oh, this is a sad scene, so I should look sad, you'll end up giving a mechanical performance. As is often said, cross out the directions. All those little cues that tell you to speak angrily or move softly, they are for people reading the play, not for you as an actor. They get in the way of responding truthfully, because they lock you into an idea instead of letting you find it. If you're acting a scene and the script says, she begins to blush, cross it out. You can't plan a blush, because real life doesn't work that way. If you start trying to live up to all those descriptions, your instincts will suffocate, and instincts are exactly what make a performance worth watching. Real life on stage comes from impulses, not from an intellectual approach. You can't rely on ideas about how to play a character. They'll kill the life of the scene before it starts. You can't prepare every reaction, and you shouldn't be able to. If the character you're playing is insensitive, they might misinterpret another character's reaction, but that misinterpretation shouldn't come because you read it in a note and decided, oh, that's interesting. I'll play it that way. It should happen because your instincts, your natural reaction in that moment, make you interpret it wrong. When you let a character's nature reveal itself through real, unplanned responses, the audience will see it for what it is. But if you're controlling every reaction, you end up with a character who acts like a puppet, not a human being. Learning to act also means knowing that you won't be right for every role, and that's fine. Part of knowing yourself as an actor means understanding your limitations, knowing which roles you'll embody fully, and which ones will just feel fake. It's about understanding your range. If you want to play roles that really suit your instincts and strengths, you'll have to listen to those instincts even when they tell you a part doesn't fit. Knowing when to say no to a part isn't a weakness, it's a strength. It's better to be honest with yourself about what doesn't fit than to force yourself into a role you're never going to do justice to. Acting, at its best, comes from pain and from joy and every other feeling you have locked up inside. You have two barrels within you, one full of all the troubles, frustrations, and neuroses you carry, and another that transforms those things into talent. This second barrel is where your ability to act, to paint, to write, or to create anything worthwhile comes from. There's a kind of osmosis between these two barrels. Your troubles seep into your talent, becoming the very stuff that gives life to what you create. But don't think all of that pain goes away in the process. There's always some left over in the trouble barrel. Even Shakespeare had his demons, Beethoven had his troubles. No amount of talent can transform all of it. So if you think you can do this work without facing the parts of yourself you'd rather ignore, think again. That's where you'll find the source of what makes you an actor. There's a lot of frustration in the business. People make quick judgments based on how you look, not on your ability. Typecasting is real. If you look a certain way, casting directors will see you that way and often won't consider anything else. This isn't just Hollywood, it happens everywhere. And it's something you have to accept as part of the work. But don't let it define you. If you're really an actor, you won't be able to stop yourself from doing this work. You'll do it despite the frustrations, because the need to act isn't a choice, it's who you are. Becoming a teacher isn't something you just decide to do. A good teacher isn't just someone who knows a few techniques, or who knows what to do in a given scene. A real teacher sees the bigger picture, sees what an actor needs to develop, and can guide them step by step. Most of the so-called teachers out there don't actually see their students. They throw techniques around like magic spells, without the clarity, or the understanding needed to help an actor build a real foundation. Clarity in teaching is everything. If a teacher doesn't have a clear vision of what acting requires, they're not teaching, they are just filling space. If you're serious about acting, you need to be prepared to face the discomforts that come with it. It's not glamorous work, it's grueling, it's exhausting, and it will tear down any illusions you have about yourself. But it's real. And if you're willing to face it, to let your instincts and feelings drive you, to go beyond ideas and reach for truth, you'll find that there's nothing else like it. Acting is the transformation of all the mess, pain, and beauty inside you into something that lives in front of an audience. That's the work. So ask yourself, do you have the nerve to live up to it?